Hey guys, welcome back for another video. Today we are doing a radiator flush on my 94 Mazda Miata. So I'm going to show you guys how to flush that and change the thermostat and refill it back up with coolant. So the first thing you're going to want to do is remove this pipe right here so you can get to the thermostat, which is just located right below. All right guys, so now that you've got this taken off, there's a clamp here and then a clamp there and then this little hose thing. So make sure that you get that off, and then the next step is under here. You can see that there's a little drain plug right there you have to twist, and that comes out. So if you have an undercarriage, it'll be right up in that hole. Here I come up, and I've already removed this hose. You're gonna move this right off of the housing, and this one has one bolt and one nut and then one actual bolt that comes out, and then this should just end up pulling off. And I say ours is pretty stuck on there, so we're gonna have to give it a rubber mallet and then it should just come right off. Okay, so when you're doing this is the kind of stuff that you don't want to see. Like, this gasket is trashed, and then as you can see, this has a decent amount of rust in it, so we're gonna scrub that. This thermostat is pretty rusted in there, so we're gonna have to get that out so that we can put the new one in. But yeah, that thing is nasty. So this is a comparison between the old, so that's the old gasket, and the new. If you look at this, it's all nasty, rusted. This one is brand spanking new. So it was definitely time for it to change. So I'm gonna just try and scrub out this housing with a brush and see if I can get some of that crap out. Okay, so I scrubbed it out as good as I could. I mean, I'm not gonna get all of it, but I'm gonna put some anti-seize just in these threads, just because where they were kind of starting to rust. That stud, I'd have to replace that whole thing, so I'm just gonna put some anti-seize on it, and then we'll just lightly torque it and put the new thermostat in and gasket. Okay, so now that we got this bolted on, I put some anti-seize kind of around this because it was pretty rusted, so the next time I have to pull these hoses off, because I'm gonna be upgrading these hoses to the Mishimoto, the red ones, for just some nice little engine detail. So this just helps the hose go back on a little bit easier, as well as come back off a little bit easier. So next we're gonna pull off the bottom radiator hose and make sure everything's completely drained, and then we'll start with the flushing process. Okay, so you're gonna disconnect that hose right there that's hanging from up there, and same thing, just put a little bit anti-seize or something on it just so that it comes off easy. But that just drains out all the rest of the crappy coolant out of there so we can start the flushing process. Okay guys, so you don't necessarily have to do the top hose and the bottom hose. I just like to just get as much crap out of there as possible. So then when this flush goes through, it has a lot less to worry about, so it can clean more. So this is the stuff that I ended up picking up. So it says to dump this in there and then fill the rest of the coolant from here up with water. And then it'll start flushing, and you've got to let this run for roughly about 20 minutes. Almost forgot the most important part. Make sure you put back in your drain plug into your radiator, and also just put a tiny bit of anti-seize on there as well. So it is plastic, but it does help it come out a lot easier. Okay guys, so we're gonna start pouring this stuff in. Comes out clear. And then once it's all in there, then you're gonna top it off with just some water. And then we're gonna put back on that pipe and stuff, since we changed out the thermostat, so that we can let this run for that 20 minutes. And with that, you just fill that up with water as well. Okay guys, so everything is in and ready to go. This is all filled up. So as you can see, it's spilling over just a little bit. I'm just gonna leave that pan under there just in case we have any leaks or anything like that. We get that put on so that it can read the mass airflow and doesn't throw you any more check engine lights. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and turn it on and go from there. When you do this, make sure that you do run your heater at full blast. You're gonna get some squilling from all that coolant and stuff on there. Nothing to worry about. Like I said, run that heater at full blast. Let it just idle and watch for any leaks. So this lets it go through your heater core, so you'll be getting cold air immediately, but it's not anything to worry about. You just let that go on through. All right guys, so we are just gonna wait the 20 minutes until this is all done flushing and everything. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna drain it and then flush more water through it. Let it run for about five minutes after it's cooled down. and then do it again just to make sure all that cleaner's out, and then we'll actually fill it up. So we are flushing it more. So we did it one time through with the actual flushing stuff and let it cycle for 20 minutes with the heat on full. So I also recommend doing it 2 or 3 times with the actual water in there as well, just so that you're getting all that degreaser and everything out. And then after you've let it circulate 3 times, then go ahead and drain it again, and then keep the fill plug off, and then just dump water through it until it comes out clear, so that you know that that stuff is out of there. If you have a little bit, it's not going to be the biggest deal. It's not going to ruin anything, but we want to get as much of it out as possible, so that we can fill it up with new stuff. Tightening that up down there. If you guys have not followed his channel, it's just Beast Tech, so make sure to check him out. He's building a wide body Veloster, which is going to be pretty sick, that I'm also helping him out with. And so we're going to start getting this fluid dumped back in here as soon as he gets that drain plug back in, and then we'll go from there. All right, guys, so the Miata takes green coolant, so this is the type that you're going to end up wanting to get. You can find it at your local O'Reilly's, and it is just the green for Mazda. And the reason for this is because it's got an aluminum head, and it's also got a different material block, and so it's just to keep it from 1, expanding, and 2, rusting from the inside out. So we're going to have Mr. Beast Tech go ahead and start filling her up. All right, so this is topped off, so leave the cap off when you start it after you put the new fluid in. As you can see, those little air bubbles and stuff, it's bleeding the system, so we can get all those out. So make sure that your heater's on full blast so it can keep cycling through, and you're going to let your car just basically warm up to temp and get through the thermostat and everything like that. And yeah, and then that'll bleed out that cooling system, and then you'll be good to go.